Hey guys, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to check out my Patreon page and just to kind of explore what I have to offer here. Out of respect for your time, your day, your attention span, I just want to explore with you really quick and share with you where I've been on my music journey, where I'm at, but also where I'm going and where I plan on going. And I would love to take you along with me. Where I began is I saw my first live band at a grade school, believe it or not. I think there was like a talent show or a battle of the bands or something. But this band called Rated R got on stage. There were a bunch of sixth graders. I think I was in maybe third grade at the time. But they got on stage with the drums, the electric guitar, and all that. Man, they just rocked it. And like it changed my life. Like I just, from that point, had a passion to do what they're doing, to create music. So fast forward a few years, I went with my best friend over to his house one day, and the same drummer that was in that band happened to be at my friend Robbie's house, Robbie Ragsdale's house. His band happened to be a band called Cross Canadian Ragweed. And Robbie and I would do our homework as we watched this band and listen to this band play. The dad, Johnny Ragsdale, which by the way, I mean, this guy is incredible. He was the dad of Robbie and the drummer that I just told you about, Randy Ragsdale. This guy was a legend. He was a huge influence in the band. And one day after practice, he said, "Joey, I want you to go sing on the mic." And I was very shy, very insecure, but I got on the mic. It was like shocking me and all this stuff, but it really gave me the oomph to start singing and creating. Not too long after that, I got an electric guitar from my Uncle Mark, and I started writing music. Not too long after that, I got in my first band. We played in front of a school, so it was like a large audience, and it was just like things just kept building and building and nurturing that passion for creating music. The music that I wrote when I first started writing music with my electric guitar was just awful. But my first notable song, I think, was a song called The Cloud Song. That was like kind of the first song that people would sing along with and enjoy. And then high school, I was in a band called Indifference, and that was when we really started creating music together and co-writing, and created some good songs that people also seem to enjoy as well. And then I was in several other bands. That was kind of a common thread throughout my life, was just music and creating music. On the flip side of that, I got in a whole lot of trouble. I just was making really, really bad decisions, reckless.
It's in.
Downward and beyond, nowhere to turn my
I go off the deep end. No boundaries. I end up getting someone pregnant. And I would love to say like that's where my life started getting better, but I had to really hit rock bottom. I end up having a really bad drug overdose, getting put in jail in Colorado, and they put me in the mental institute or the mental ward in the jail. I couldn't get dressed by myself, and Had a hard time eating by myself and just doing day-to-day activities. And for all I knew, I would have been in, the care of my parents for the rest of my life. One day I was laying on my parents' bed, looking up to the sky, or looking up in the ceiling. I was in kind of a 3-year-old state of mind, and I just saw kind of a vision of myself on a stage playing with a band. In a dream where you kind of just know things. Well, in this, I kind of just knew that this concert, it was outside, there was oceans of people, and they were lifting their hands in worship. In my spirit, I knew that it wasn't necessarily a Christian band, but because of God in me, it was causing people to worship. It was such a powerful experience, and it was life-changing. I can't explain it, but from that point on, my cognitive abilities started coming back. Ended up getting a job, started being a father to my son, moved out of the house. I was in and out of music from then on out. After that, I was in a band called Seven Chance. Around that time, I wrote this song called Unrelieved. And I hate the name of that song because it sounds like you have to go pee really bad. But this was the first time that I was able to really stretch my legs with the rap, hip hop kind of feel. Because that's always been in my heart, but I haven't been able to really exercise that in a band.
Some reason love's using me as a mouthpiece to speak out, so you can clearly see I found peace in the frustration. This whole situation, this God-hating nation, let's break the chain of unmotivation.
From there, moved to Kansas City, Missouri for a while, and I got to be a part of this place called International House of Prayer. And this was a big deal for me because I got to sing alongside of some of the people that I really looked up to musically. Justin Rizzo, Jay Thomas, Corey Asbury, Ron Downing, John Thurlow, like just some of the greats. For me, it was really incredible time in my life. Even more so just being a part of the International House of Prayer, I got to really work on myself. Like there was so much going on inside me that this is where God really started just to bring stuff up in my character flaws.
Away from hate, away from this way of life.
At this point, my son was like 7 years old. Music is still a big part of my life. Doing a lot of open mic night stuff and just playing downtown Oklahoma City. I would say like maybe 2009-ish, started working for this church called Northview. I fell in love with the pastor and his wife, just incredible human beings. I met their son, Tommy, and his wife, and they were in charge of the music there. They let me get involved in the music. And this is where I really grew musically. They strove for excellence. Like if you were to say strive for excellence, it would be the past tense of that. I found out one day the pastor had a daughter in Chicago. I walk into the sanctuary and I see this blonde girl singing, and I fell in love with her immediately. I knew that I wanted to marry her. It took about 6 months for me to convince her that she loved me and wanted to marry me. We ended up getting married. We had 2 kids. So now I have 3 kids. I'm married, have a house. This is where my music just pauses. I'll never forget, I forgot. There were pockets of time throughout my life that I would just stop music, always writing lyrically, but just stop like performing and producing to seek the Lord and like let him work on me, which by the way, I'm almost 40 years old, so it's taken that long for God to work on me and get me to the place I'm at now. From there all the way up till like 2019, till we moved here to Nashville, I lifted up my wife as she really pursued this career in education, and just kind of put my music on the back burner. And again, that's the time, you know, that God was able to really work on me as a person. But the burning desire to create music for a living never left. 2019, I just get this push to start writing a book about my life. 2020, all of a sudden I'm getting this green light to start pursuing music again. It's taken that time up until now to just explore what that even looks like, to really pursue music for a living, to build. I know this doesn't look like a huge studio, but shout out to Sam Hart that really just helped me kind of pick and choose each piece, just kind of let me text him every once in a while, hey, what should I get for a mic? What should I get for this, for that? And helped me along in that journey of just kind of piecing together the equipment to actually record and things like that. So that's where I started.
I'll take your picture off of the wall, back down again, and up on the fridge, and back down for good. But I know, and I will be much stronger in the end.
Where I'm at now is I am learning how to balance everything. I have several different projects that I'm working on now, just to bring our family income through like my video editing, through the book writing, through we have a little elderberry company that we started. We make elderberry syrup. We produce it, market it, sell it, deliver it. I run all of Brittany's YouTube and social media platforms, editing her videos. I've done other projects as well, YouTube related and just small and large video projects. So like I have a lot of sticks in the fire, but I really want to start trimming everything back to make music be the main focus, to make all those other things be just below the music, where I can spend the most time on music. I'm really finding out who I am as a musician. I have a passion for several different kinds of music, but just knowing which lane to start in, knowing what platforms to start in. I'm working on 3 songs right now. I'm pursuing more relationships that will help me be accountable to keep this grind going. And then also currently practicing on piano and guitar and just honing my craft again, getting comfortable again, playing in front of people. I plan on being very active on YouTube and TikTok and Instagram and all the things. Some people would say it's crazy to pursue music full time as a 39-year-old man, almost 40. I would just say that it took God 30 years to get me to a place where I could have the emotional, spiritual discipline and structure to support doing this long term. You know, if I get 10 years, 20 years, whatever, that's great, because I would much rather do this on the back end than to start immaturely and end up in a reckless place. We're in the first time in history where someone like me, an independent artist, can actually have a chance to make music for a living. I've sat back and watched the past few years as independent artists are rising to the top, chart-topping songs. They're recording their own videos, they're making their own music, doing their own marketing, all of it as an independent artist, not dependent on the label. To be picked out of hundreds of thousands of people doing music to be a part of a label. It used to be like the lottery. Now it's possible to do it with all these different platforms. It's a totally different world. It's not the label's world anymore. It's the artist. The artists have the power now.
I've been grinding at this for decades, 20 years with a pen and the notes on my phone, built a castle with stones in the pages of lyrics I've cried over, crumbled and thrown if I listen to these voices too long. I'll be stuck in this dad bod, thrusting the truck shut back in the back of the car, sitting with a cracked headset and a burnt out dome. I'm hustling.
Where I plan on going from here, I've never stopped writing lyrically, so I have journals, I have notebooks in my phone. I have so much content to pick from. I really plan on having 1 to 3 songs recorded by my birthday, and then just working towards that, working towards co-writes with people, possibly even doing some open mic nights, getting used to being in that atmosphere again and in those communities, building relationships around myself that'll help me stay accountable.
The dawn is breaking, a light shining through.
Moving forward to Patreon, really it's just a platform for someone to be able to donate a monthly amount to an artist that they believe in or want to support, help them kind of get to the place where they're trying to get to. In fact, a lot of artists, they're using Patreon as a platform to kind of self-fund instead of depending on a record label to one day maybe help them out. This kind of speeds up the process. It's a way for us artists to kind of have more freedom to create how we want to create, to have more control over that content. It also kind of gives us a vehicle to be able to more personally interact with our fans and our supporters. You know, I'm realizing now at almost 40 years old that if I could do anything for the rest of my life and money wasn't an issue, I would create music for the rest of my life. And this is a way for you to help me do that.
Well, I worry I won't see your face light up again. Even the best fall down sometimes.
Patreon for me is so much more than just people donating money because they believe in my craft. It's accountability. It's a community. It's me not wanting to let you down because you're investing your time and resources in me. And so I want you to know that it's you know, if you're donating $1, if you're donating $500, it doesn't matter. I mean, obviously I'd rather have the $500. It's just that community, that camaraderie, that accountability, and me just not wanting to let you down. What the resources are helping me with is keeping my gear current. I have a really old MacBook that's breaking down. Need resources just to buy stems for music until I can really get down the recording music process. I plan on just really working on my voice. There's a guy named Brett Manning here in Nashville that is one of the most amazing vocal coaches. I would love to be able to one day be able to get in with him or his team to work on my voice. And then I've even thought about just getting into an apprenticeship with a studio where I can be able to afford to work somewhere without making any money. And just to help clear away the distractions of everything else so I can keep the main thing and focus on music so I can work for you to get content pushed out and just to do the best I can. So anyways, that is where I've been, where I'm at, where I'm going. So hopefully all this helps you guys realize that I'm not just a fly-by musician. This is something that's been in the crock pot for 30 years. Thank you for letting me take you along on this music journey. I hope and pray that you see the value in it. And When you get a chance, go check out the tiers. You know, I'm working on kind of massaging out the levels, the tiers, and just making each one of them the most bang for their buck. Again, thanks for watching this. I hope you guys are having a great day. I love you. Bye.